No problem. I just want the parents who are joining in to at least have a look at the poster. That's all.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Ma'am, all the panel members are available right now. Can you check on it?
I'm checking, madam.
I can see Vinod Kumar, sir.
Yes, madam. Akhil also.
Okay. So can I start? Shobna ma'am?
Yes, madam. One moment, madam. Just I'll go to Poonam, madam.
Okay, okay.
Madam, another 2 minutes, madam. Poonam, madam, just now joined.
Okay, ma'am. No problem. Just let me know when I can start. Okay.
Yes, madam.
Hello, Shobna. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam. Hello, good afternoon. Venkat, how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you.
Vinod, how are you? How are you doing?
Fine, ma'am. Long time.
Yes, it's long time. Yeah, Chandrabhanu, very happy to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is little low, I think.
Is it audible, ma'am, now?
Little audio, maybe, I think, from my end.
Just a second, ma'am.
Akhil, how are you?
Hi, hello, madam. Uh, nice to meet you here again, like everyone.
Good to see all of you. Our faces starts glowing, right?
Yeah. Just a question, like, is the admission season currently going on, or like it's already
Yes,
done?
yes. It is going to start. It's going to
Oh,
start.
it's going to start. Okay.
Yes.
I think one of the parents saw me. I mean, he knows me, and he was surprised to see, and he messaged me asking like, uh,
Oh, that's
how about
great.
the admission? So, yeah.
No, it's in fact a good effort by Kanti Sudha madam, since she has taken up this
Mhm.
like as admission duty, and she makes like this branches should be known to the public, and
Yeah.
they should understand there are many other areas where
Exactly.
people can explore, like future engineer can explore, right?
Yes.
Kanti
Yeah.
Sudha madam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Ma'am, if everyone is ready, shall we make a start?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, madam.
Yeah.
Anuradha, madam, good afternoon.
Madam, good afternoon, and very happy to see our young alumni, maybe like a decade, within a period of decade, right, Venkateshwar Rao?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Almost 10 years. Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Vinod,
Nice meeting you
Banu,
all
Akhil.
again.
Almost 20 years, ma'am. 2 decades.
Yeah, you are Vinod. Okay, 2 decades then. Right. So, Vinod, because we see you very often, we never
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
that
I
like
don't
it's
feel
20
so.
years almost. Okay, consider, madam, over to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, Ponu madam.
Shobna ma'am, can you start recording the session so that we can give a start?
Yes, madam.
This call is now being recorded.
Yeah, thank you. So good afternoon to all the parents and students who have joined this session today. So this is part of the series of panel discussions which we have been conducting across all the branches of engineering to give you an awareness and insight about the branch prospects as well as the job prospects related to the branch. Today, as part of this, today we have the panel discussion of EEE department, Electrical and Electronics Engineering department, where we have a lot of experts related to the domain available to us in this panel discussion. So I would like to welcome the panel members first before going ahead. So we have Mr. V. Venkateshwara Garu, Senior Product Development Engineer, Microsoft Texas, USA, who has joined us for this session today. And we have Chandra Banu, who is Assistant Manager Design Indio Tech Transformers Limited. And then we have Mr. Abdul, Chief Executive Officer, Alika Eco Products Private Limited. We have Mr. Vinod, Associate Director, FP&A Cognizant. And we have Mr. Akhil, who is Automotive Infotainment System Security Engineer. So these are the experts from various industries who have joined us for this panel discussion, along with the head of the department, Mr. Dr. Poonam Upadhyay ma'am, who is professor and head of the department of EEE. And also we do have Dr. K. Anuradha ma'am, who is the professor and dean academics of the institute, who have joined us today to share their opinions related to this particular topic of wide spectrum of career choices in EEE. So in this context, I would like to first start off with Poonam madam, who happens to be the head of the department. So, ma'am, the one thing which I clearly hear out from the parents or the students is that triple E is tough. So, this is a statement which every parent or student makes when they talk about triple E. So, I want you to comment on this particular aspect. Also, I would like to hear out from you what are the core strengths of your department and how do you drive away these fears from the students' mind and enable them to excel in this particular domain?
Madam, first of all, thank you very much. Thank you all the panel members for joining this panel discussion. And I would like to answer Kanti Sudha madam. Simply, whatever people say that it's tough, like it's a just saying you can understand, because any engineering branch is derived from the fundamentals of science, mathematics, physics, chemistry, mathematics, whatever they study in their intermediate level. So electrical engineering branch, you can say that extension of those subjects. And any engineering discipline, when like olden days when people used to think about engineering, there used to be only electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil, like that. These were the main engineering branches. And after that, sub branches have arisen based on the necessity of the society. So electrical engineering is like as other engineering branches, it is same. It is a wrong notion that it is tough. If your fundamentals are good, definitely children can do very well in this branch. And there are like lot of opportunities in this branch. Anyway, you will be taking up the questions with all our other panel members. So I should say that like they should be strong in their fundamentals, physics, chemistry, mathematics. That and our electrical engineering goes extension of those things. That is the main thing. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for bringing to it that triple E happens to be one of the core branches of engineering, which had been there since very long, as ma'am was rightly pointing out. So all the other branches have been like a derivative branches coming up from the mainstream of triple E. Ma'am, I would also like to hear from you what are the core strengths of your department. So how do you actually enable the students to excel, especially?
Actually, our Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering is one of the oldest department in the DNR institute established in 1995, and triple E department also is established in 1995. And we started as a very small department in the beginning. And 2003, there was one course like MTech Power Electronics started, and then 2014 MTech Power System started, and we have grown up to the double intake, like 120 intake over the years because of the necessary requirements by the society. Because now they are seeing that a lot of electric vehicles is coming into demand. Lot of converters are required for different renewable systems, and now people are talking about the next future of the the next power future is renewables only. So our department is very well, very good strength is there. All are the competent faculty. We have 40 faculty and almost like 65 faculty, 65% of faculty are with PhD degree, and we have very good non-teaching staff. We have the expertise area in the charging station, the electric vehicle, the converter technologies, electrical drives, whatnot. Like it is whatever is required for the new era of India, new era of world. That capability is available in our department, along with the software competency in the faculty. Like they know that how to interface like your electrical drives, Python program. So we are very much competent in all domains. So,
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for emphasizing that you have a very good, strong faculty and strong labs. And since you are talking about being the department being there since its inception, so I think it carries a lot more weightage to the parents and students who are looking out for an admission into triple E. So next, I would like to go to Anuradha ma'am, who happens to be our Dean Academics. and also who has headed the department in the previous years. Being the dean of academics in the institute, ma'am, many parents or students come to us telling that academics is very strong in VNR. So this is one very good perception which I get to hear out from the parents and the students. Definitely gives me a lot of pride in hearing this from the aspirants. But for the benefit of students or parents who are not aware of our institute or probably not aware of the system, so I would just like to ask you, being an autonomous institute with academic freedom, how do you ensure that curriculum is updated on regular basis as per the industry needs? Can you also tell us about the minor degree programs being offered to the core branches?
Yeah, yes, Kantisudha madam, like very nice thing, like where the aspiring parents and students, today's continuous queries, what we receive at VNR VJIT at institute level, when a stakeholder like a parent or whatever it is student level, when they enters, like they look for the admission into a particular institution and seeking for the branches in computer science related and then so on. So when we look at the branch name, today's scenario, the people will look at only computer science engineering. The way like we receive queries at admission section being at institute level, we see. But always like when we look at the MSET perspective, the 70% of the seats, the way it is almost like allotted by the MSET convener and rank based, merit based, parents do approaches. What are the various options, career options in electrical engineering and circuit domains in that way? And the way like we frame the curriculum and design the curriculum at VNR VJIT, it is not specifically like a very interdisciplinary nature. When we look at the electrical and electronics engineering, we have the blended composition of courses wherein you have like electrical, electronics and computer science orientation and lot of application aspects of general engineering, you can say, like design orientation. Design courses especially are introduced at first year level itself uh, to sensitize the societal problems. Normally, any engineer should have lot of like common sense. Engineering is nothing but common sense. So in that perspective, the way like how the future engineers should look at the societal problems to inculcate that maybe like curiosity into the budding engineers. Design sensitization is one course when that is introduced at first year level itself. And starting from there, we have a kind of project-based learning, especially when you look at the curriculum structure. Internships is one of the key component that is incorporated at second year level. And based on that, again, the student can take up academic orientation or research oriented topics where department will continuously in contact with industry connect, and thus that kind of internships will be offered to them. And then in third year, again, we have industry oriented mini project wherein core engineering as well as the students of electrical engineering with the kind of curriculum orientation till third year they have, they can enter into the core as well as the computer oriented courses also, the way internships are that are being catered to the students. And in final year, in this particularly, like they have 1 year major project wherein a lot of interdisciplinary projects are taken up in latest domains of engineering, electric vehicle and renewable energy, power electronic converters. This kind of project-based approach, especially when you look at the curriculum, we cannot speak only on the curriculum design. The academics, as Kantisudha madam has addressed, the academics, the strength of academics at VNR VJIT, how you take up the design curriculum through delivery and assessment. And when we look at this delivery and assessment part, especially, today's student, the learning are like listening, attention seeking levels are very low. So in that way, learning by doing is one of the best methodology that is applied in the delivery process as well as the assessment methods. And project-based learning, as I have given the thread of like design sensitization, internships, and design thinking project into the curriculum courses, and also major project, especially in we run the major projects because of the department expertise. Madam is mentioning about the core strengths of the department. The most of the faculty members are having like research projects and academic projects in this from DST as well as AICT funding agencies and even from industry connect also. So the kind of projects faculty are executing, the students are rightly involved into these projects, wherein they can always see the outcomes of what way like a solar water pump for agriculture application can be designed and developed and delivered. These aspects of how they can look into the electric vehicle charging station, how fast chargers and what is the necessity of that, and almost all of our labs, this kind of learning by doing and the involvement of students into the research projects of the department is real asset for the department. And when we look into the latest industry trends, that how we can incorporate into the curriculum, uh, since autonomy, that is Madam is mentioning about the autonomous institution to 2012 onwards, and 2011 we have JNTU autonomy, and 11 onwards UGC autonomy, 12 onwards UGC autonomy. But every year the way the curriculum is updated, 2012, 2013, 15 and 18, 19. Now like we are also on the way to how to implement NUP, especially multidisciplinary domain knowledge into the core engineering branches. So these aspects, the way like why the way we move forward, lot of industry expectations of the industry, or what are the current industry trends, how our electrical engineering graduates can imbibe and apply them when they go to the industry. That way, like parent has to see that engineering domain, you can see as a big picture, you can have the blended curriculum of various branches. You can say like electronics is one of the embedded area wherein lot of components of electrical engineering addresses triple E branch, and embedded systems, and the way like current technologies that are required at industry, our students are absorbed by many of the embedded companies. So that is how even in electric vehicle also, and industry, if you say Meda servo drives and other companies, the way the expectations of the industry is low power engineering, that is the how you control digital controllers that are required for the to drive the power as well as the electrical machines, power industry as well as industrial machines. So all these aspects, the how we have incorporated into the curriculum, as Madam has rightly mentioned, Poonam Madam, the way like curriculum is framed into year-wise syllabus. When we look into core engineering courses as a base, and then above that you have the flexible aspects of the curriculum, how a interdisciplinary approach can be embedded through open electives and professional electives. So when we look at the open electives especially, I will just show, Madam, can you just show the flyer on R90?
It's there, madam. Shared. Minor degree.
Yeah, minor degree. All right, madam. I'm just looking at flyer on R19.
It is already shared. It is there on the screen.
Okay. So this is about minor. I will take a little time on that. Basically, like when we look into the open elective tracks, we have multidisciplinary domain like computer science related, artificial intelligence, data science, like that, and from robotics related, robotics and automation, 3D printing, like that, various domains of all engineering disciplines into the mainstream of the curriculum, and student can choose whatever way they can go ahead in their careers. And apart from that, your professional electives, every department is having 6 streams in professional electives, wherein student can select a particular stream of their choice and they can take level 1, level 2 up to level 6 courses. So that is how latest industrial technologies are especially embedded into these elective courses. And when we look at open electives also, we have mostly like industry offered electives also are they're offered by the institute level curriculum, wherein like we look into the various industries, how like industry expectations are there, and that kind of courses also industry has come forward, and we are taking that those courses and offering to the students. That is a lot of good response is there in that way. And apart from that, apart from the regular curriculum, the flyer what we are looking at here is minor degree at VNR Vijayati. Like we have started last academic year onwards, these degrees, and good number of students are taking up as a part of their additional additional to the regular degree. They need to secure 18 credits, and those 18 credits will be spreaded from the third year onwards. So the major domains of areas like minor areas are artificial intelligence and machine learning, data science, cyber security, IoT, entrepreneurship, which is the major part of like where which is offered to all branches of students, and especially these four domains. We as electrical engineering student graduates, like they can take up and secure the additional degree, and most of the time this kind of additional feather in their cap, like open elective track based courses, proficiency certifications, and these minor degrees will help them, like how the applications of electrical engineering in the current industry trends, how they can take it ahead, especially when we look into the power engineering and other aspects of industry, how machine learning, like you can apply to the applications of like how to control a machine, and also like power system network, like how to optimize all these aspects. Application based case studies are incorporated into these courses. That is where like we always take up as on par with industry, and in continuation with the kind of like the regular courses we take. Thank you. Thank you, Kanchi.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for emphasizing on the project-based learning and also the kind of freedom you have to choose between your open electives offered by various branches. So I think there is a lot of things or opportunities provided very rightly in the context of academics for all the students aspiring to take up any kind of course. And as madam was rightly pointing out, so there's a lot of interdisciplinary culture which is being built up, and as ma'am was rightly pointed out, so there is a lot of things where the projects where the students are involved even in the faculty projects. And I think on this note I would like to mention that EEE department had twice I guess where their students have gone to Smart India Hackathon as finalists. So I think that really speaks volumes about the department and the culture that they have in the department. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Next, I would like to go to Mr. Vemuri Venkateshwar Rao, who happens to be our alumni also, and an industry expert who is working right now in the Microsoft manufacturing division on latest semiconductor analog design, test, and manufacturing solutions. So he has done his graduate in electrical engineering at Texas Tech with strong background in component level testing with automated test equipment, ADE, PXI, VLST, CT, and test bench setup. So he has a strong understanding of statistical data analysis, Six Sigma standards, and DFT techniques. And he also has strong background in DC-DC power converters design and test. So, Mr. Venkateshwara sir, it's really great to have you today on our panel discussion today. So, I would like to ask you on this context. So, having EEE as a core base in engineering, can students explore or gain expertise in software domain or any domain of their interest?
Uh, Thanks for having me, ma'am. I hope I can answer some questions and be of little help to any parents who are listening. The short answer is yes. You can always excel in software. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to work in a core field if you study EEE, and that's the short answer. I'd like to also explore that a little bit further. Say, can you do it, and should you do it, and would you do it? The answer for can is yes. You come to a EEE department fairly young. Um, you would want to learn a lot of core level details. You'd learn to work on machines, control systems, and probably low level electronics as well. Uh, and you come thinking with a mindset that core has nothing to do with our software. That's not a very good assumption. At least growing up, I had that misconception. You can't in this day and age, you cannot isolate software learning from code learning. You should be able to read a basic code and understand. Different companies approach these differently. Whether you're in proper machine development, whether you're in proper electronics development, or part of control systems or power systems, whichever your domain is, you can never be isolated from software. Things done with computers, you need to know how they run. You need to make your life easier. So software comes in handy all the time. You should be able to read basic code, change the code, develop the code, and run the code. And it's not always that you start something from scratch every time. You come with the mindset that you want to develop something and there's already existing code for it and you want to make it better. So you always have to change code and play with the code. So like Poonam ma'am mentioned and like Anuradha ma'am mentioned, all these different disciplines that you are merging with electronics will make your life a lot easier. You should be able to leverage all that learning and apply that to any software fields that you're doing. Now, should you do it? The short answer is again yes, because like I said, electrical engineering and the discipline of software engineering or computer sciences are not that different. We do pretty much the same things. The logic we apply behind any of those aspects are the same. The same if function you write in computer science can be used here. The while loops, for loops you use over there can be used here. It's all how our mind analyzes things. If it's a software solution or if it's a hardware solution, the answer might take the same logical route. Like under the mentioned, engineering is mostly common sense. That's exactly what we are doing. Whatever we intend to do, we apply the same thoughts of logic and chain of thought, and software takes the same chain of thought and applies that onto the code. So it's pretty much the same. Now, would you do it? The answer is again yes. The reason is we joined fairly young into engineering, and by the time we graduate, the scene of the market might have changed. There might be more expertise needed on software domain than hardware domain, and software domain might be paying much better than hardware domain. So you might want to take it. Or you'll still come back into the market and say there are too many software engineers and there are too less hardware engineers. You still want to do your job, but to do a good electrical engineering job, you still need sound fundamentals in coding and computer programming and all those. So you'd still want to learn those and apply those. So and sometimes it's not just your thought or money. Sometimes it's just the way the market needs it. Sometimes the country needs it. Sometimes the industry needs it. There might be more source of development and more source of improvement if you're in either one of these domains. And either one, you should be able to take whichever one you like and grow in whichever area you like. And in order to do that, you need to have sound fundamentals and looking at the curriculum and having gone through the curriculum, your ability to read code from basic C code is pretty much the same. Nobody knows all the languages there are in computer sciences. Nobody knows them in and out. We always refer to internet. We look for code. We look for improvements in the code. Everything on the internet, right? So, if you learn the basic C code, I think your ability to read any code is pretty much the same. So, it's not like you need to learn all the languages. You need to learn the principles underlying each of those languages, and I think you'll be good to go. I hope that helps answer your questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Venkatesh Rao. Sir. So you have rightly emphasized you can't isolate your core or your software.
Exactly.
Now everything is like interlinked. So very good point made from your end. Thank you for telling us about it. So next, I would like to go to Chandra Banu sir, who happens to be working as Indotech Transformers Limited in Kanchipuram in the position of Assistant Manager as Electrical Design of Power Transformers. So he has held various positions as Senior Design Engineer, Quality Control, and Testing Engineer in designing, testing of current and potential transformers. So he is also a 2013 EEE graduate from VNR VJIT. So welcome, Chandrabanu sir. I would like to ask you, so how are the job opportunities in EEE core domain? Since you are already there, I think you'll be a better person to tell us about this. And also, how are the papers? Because nowadays, every student is also interested in the papers. So anything comment from your end on this?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me on this panel. And first thing regarding the opportunities in our EEE field, actually, in the field. Main thing is it's an equal opportunity just as other streams also. Not more, not less than the other fields also. The main thing is what approach you are taking. That student, whatever he's taking for the future, how he is planning, which track he's taking actually. That is the major thing actually. So coming to actually the opportunities, let's say in the EEE, the products what we are having in the regarding this field are very humongous, I would say actually. Right from the beginning of the generation of power, hydroelectric plants, uh, transformers, switchgear systems. So every part of the every component of the power system has a vast manufacturing requirement. Has a actually in the current scenario also the infrastructure requirement is on the very higher side. So the companies whatever already established and the whatever coming up are on the really on the higher side compared to the previous decades, I would say. So the opportunities regarding the actual requirement for the electrical engineers, especially the design engineers, and in this field, for each and every component, it is the different part I would say. So it is on the very good track actually. So let's say the say like switchgear equipment. So companies have major companies are regarding the switchgear equipment converted with these transformers. Every part is a major part of the power system, and so the infrastructure requirement also is on the higher side. And regarding the papers, I would say, uh, I'll be honest. In the beginning, most of the it is on the idea of the students, whatever it is. It is like it is low-paying salaries and all in the beginning. Actually, the idea has been implanted, I would say, on the minds of most of the people. But I would say it depends on which companies we are approaching. Let's say we are approaching the companies that which depends mostly on the exports and all. So such companies are manufacturing on the higher side, on the higher capital investment and all. So such companies are ready to pay the salaries and all even on the higher side. And companies such as in the local side, so local side, why they are paying on the lower side means such things actually the students who which we are saying they recruit as a trainees actually in the beginning actually. So that is the main thing the students actually see as training how it would be will be getting a less salary. And all. So that point of view it need to be changed actually because in the initial stage it would be difficult I would say for some of the cases actually. But the next after couple of years, the requirement of what the other companies, bigger companies and what they will see is on the vast side. So yes, the opportunities are good, and the payment of perks also what papers also are on the good side actually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for emphasizing that you do have very good papers provided. You look into the role and the job description related also. So thanks for emphasizing on that. Thank you for joining us today, sir. So next, I would like to move on to Vinod, sir, who is Associate Director in Cognizant. So Vinod sir has got more than 15 years of experience in different areas in finance domain that includes pricing, commercials, corporate planning, FP&A, project finance, MIS, investor relations, financial advisor, consulting, etc. So he has earlier worked with PepsiCo, Tech Mahindra, and Spark Infra Advisory. He has also worked as software engineers for about 4 years prior to his MBA. So he has done his MBA from IIM Calcutta in 2010, and he's also a graduate of electrical engineering from VNR Vijayati in the year 2004. So very rightly, so you have a very good what do you call job and profile, sir. I would just like to ask you on that note. So how can a triple E undergraduate student diversify in terms of job prospects? And can you say anything related to whether a branch is restricting their growth career? Because you yourself you are a live example for that, with where you have a lot of things which you have done across your thing. So just from your end, I would like to know on this, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I mean, while introducing, I mean, you have named so many things, and if you look at all of them, I'm sure it is nothing to do with engineering. Frankly, it's more about how we want to diversify, like what we like, how we like, and I would say basic thing is like mindset, like engineering mindset. What is engineering mindset? It's all about identifying the problem, proposing good solutions, design or device, or develop solutions, I mean, we should always be like curious to understand what's happening in whatever we do. So those are the basic tenets of engineering mindset, and I would say we can apply that engineering mindset across any field where we are working in. Like if you say, uh, uh, okay, I'm a electrical engineer, so I have a knowledge of basic machines and etc. But that will help us even in our like even in finance, like it shapes up our way of thinking. So I would say like we should not be rigid or fixed only to like one way of thinking, but at the same time we should diversify the way we see things. And moreover, if I absorb the latest trends, like 20 years back, if I say, hardly there was an internet. Like it used to be like internet centers where we used to go and try to find out some information, but that is not the case today. Like every device, even a telephone, TV, everything is connected in our homes nowadays. So internet is very wide. So at the same in the same way, even all engineering branches are all merging, or let's say combining together to make as one output. So it's like maybe in the near future it will be branch agnostic also, but it is like an engineer, because I need to know every bit of everything. So I should be knowing something about computer science, I should be knowing about electronics or everything. So I would say like engineering will build you as a person. And as I had an interest in doing the management, because I used to read like technology plus management will help, and it certainly does. From my experience I can say, like post my MBA, I mean, once you do once you're in a management, like again, you have like options of general management, finance, HR, marketing, sales, etc., etc. It will surely help your basic degree, or let's say basic degree in graduation time, in way we do our things after our management. It will help in consulting. I used to work on financial models. So I used to build solar models, coal plant, all these things. So when I was building those models, I mean, even a CA can do the same thing. But when we does that, his focus will be purely on numbers. But whereas we do understand like how power get generated, what is units, what is power factor, etc., etc., and how we can apply that into or translate those into numbers. So since I was aware of all those things, it certainly helps us in selling our product or making our presentations. So I would say, I mean, we should be we should keep our mind open and explore whatever is coming to us, and based on our interest too, and then move ahead. I would also like to quote few people like who said, I mean, who are from let's say BTech, electrical, or let's say engineering, who are CFOs in big companies today, like Reliance, Alok Agarwal. He's a BTech from IIT. Manoj Bhat, who is Mahindra Group CFO. He's an electrical engineer from IIT Mumbai. Similar way, Zomato CFO. All these are engineers. But again, depending on the interest, depending on the liking for the numbers and the way you want to do the business, they move to the different, or let's say they switched their careers to the finance field and moved ahead, and they are CFOs. And I'm going to see this kind of this trend is going to be very flexible going forward. Earlier times it used like CFAs, or let's say chartered accountants who were into finance, but no more the case now. Like you see all people across sales, finance, even in HR. So I would say technology plus a combination of management will surely open up wide options for us, not only as an option for a career, but also as an individual. I think Anuradha ma'am was saying engineering is a common sense. I would extend to say even like MBA is a common sense. Like uh, maybe sometimes MBA is not required also, some people say, but yes, it certainly helps us. Another important aspect is networking. Whether we are in engineering or let's say MBA or wherever we are, we should also focus on networking, like talk to people, try to know the things, know more about what's happening around, and that will also help us in careers. So options are wide. It's about our openness to accept the things and move ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for letting us know about all these things, new things which I'm hearing for today. especially when you talked about open-mindedness, which everyone have. And I think the parents and students who are logged into the session are definitely curious to know about all the different branches and their prospects. I definitely think that all the parents who have joined are really trying to get some acquire some knowledge, especially related to the branches. The intention behind this kind of a panel discussion, and definitely I can take home a good point for my CA husband also, which you have mentioned today, I guess. So thanks on that note also. So next, I would like to go to Mr. Abdul Mujib, who happens to be the Chief Executive Officer, Alika Eco Products Private Limited. So Mr. Abdul is a practicing social entrepreneur working in the field of water management, handicrafts, livelihoods, and women empowerment. He works to nurture the entire social entrepreneurship ecosystem. He brings forth his immense experience as a startup founder who has gone through the life cycle of a venture and also gaining support from incubators or accelerators in the space, worked with low and marginal income groups, and he has won the best startup award for his venture Allika, and he has also mentored more than 40 plus startups in the social enterprise space. So, welcome, Mr. Abdul Mujib, for this panel discussion.
Yeah,
So, talking
thank
about
you, ma'am.
self sustainability. So, can I know from you, since you are being also an entrepreneur, can students of Triple E think about becoming an entrepreneur? So, your comments on that, sir.
Yeah, so my entrepreneurship journey started right from the college in scintillation. So I've bought stalls there and made few money with the scintillation. So that's where it all started. And then we had many sessions during the college days only on the different career paths and different entrepreneurship. So there was a session that inspired with 1 lakh, how many businesses can you do? So there were 10,000 businesses you could do while bootstrapping within 10,000 rupees. So that's where this was back again in 2010. So it's been 12 years now. So I think the kind of sessions the college is taking and the frequent visits, even I came to many sessions on entrepreneurship and different career paths. So one thing, my career also started with entrepreneurship. How can I make a waste weed in Pragati Nagar to how can we reuse? So I thought biogas is one of the best solutions. So that's where my engineering again came into the picture. So that's how I start. So now also I when I do the mentorships to the startup, so 1 in 10 startups are from Triple E background or one of the core branches. So not from MBA, but right away from the college, they are from the core. So that's where I think, okay, they are again my family. So it's a core. So that's why you call it a core. So so one more thing, I felt, so when I meet the startups and do the talks at different colleges, so the kind of students attend are at least 50% are from this core college, core branches. So that's where you have to see how diversify you can go. So one thing, yeah, sustainability, yes. So the top companies, just like Vinod said, the Amazon CEO and all other things are from Triple E background. So, or it's the other way. If you are to be a billionaire, come join Triple E. Definitely you'll be into the top positions. And then, what's the question you again asked?
Okay, can Triple E students
Yes,
think of
think
entrepreneurship?
of the entrepreneur. Yes, so I gave Vinod gave many examples, and the Amazon CEO is one of the best examples we have in front of us. Yes, take Triply, and you have options to become entrepreneur. And in as Venkatesh also said, there are everything you can interrelate to the Triply. So there are everything. So I frame or I keep Triply as a salt. So even if you make how good curry or any dish you make without salt, it won't be it won't come to life. So triple is such important course. So that's what I can tell. So there are multiple opportunities in triple, so that's where you have other branches subjects also covered here. So once you are into the triple, you will get to know what life is and how are the things. So the topic about the subject, it's tough and it's really really tough and all these things. So once you know how tough it is, then only you will have the multiple options to get out of the box thinking, how to think, how to learn, and how to answer the questions, and how to write, how to present. So all these things comes once you join a subject like this. So if you feel that the course is very easy, you'll not have that kind of creativity. So once you have these kind of challenges in front of you, then I think once creativity comes out, and then they'll excel. So that's it. Thank you, Sudhagaru.
Thank you, and thank you, Abdul sir, for telling us about your entrepreneurship journey. And as you rightly pointed out, in the college level itself, this kind of a mindset has been nurtured, where the student can think of becoming an entrepreneur. And I think you are also one of the examples of Triple branch where you are a successful entrepreneur right now. So I do think that a lot of scope is there for any student who wants to think out of the box or have some innovative idea to go ahead in their career. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us today. So
Thank
next
you.
I have Akhil, who is automotive infotainment system security engineer. So Akhil also happens to be our 2016 graduate. So he's currently working as automotive infotainment system security engineer in Herman International. So he protects the system from various attackers. So he's currently serving for Audi and Tata OEMs. So he has previously worked for Viston, which is a Ford company, Bangalore, as senior embedded software engineer, level 3 module owner for vehicle settings in Ford DX755, responsible for app drawer and climate control in Mahindra XUV 700. He's also part of CES 2020 in US, where he was exposed to smart core infotainment system, and he has published in which was also published in many magazines. So prior to this, he has worked for 3 years in Hyundai Mobis as module lead for location sharing and telematics applications. He's part of core development in Hyundai Venue Infotainment, which is the first telematics enabled car in India. So won the best prototype award for smart voice recognition, and in association with NSS from past 10 years. So he has first batch of Career Vision who established the strong roots. So he's also a motivational speaker who gives numerous sessions in colleges, schools, and convocations. So Akhil, it's very nice to have you here today. You're also part of Triple E department. So just I want to know from you, what is your job role? Though I've of course given your introduction related to the
Yes.
job profile, I just want to know what is this security engineer which you're talking about, being a Triple E candidate or being from the Triple E branch. So I just want your job description in the first thing. And second thing, what is the value addition that you have obtained by doing your BTech in VNR Triple E department? And what are the best things you like about college in particular?
Thanks for the introduction, ma'am. Yeah. So coming up with everyone able to hear me, right? Is my audio clear?
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming to my job role, I started into this automotive domain. I went into this automotive sector. So the first thing that comes into a brain that why an electrical engineer going into automotive sector. So it's not something like that. Any sector has every engineer. Like if you go to any healthcare, or if you are going to an IT field, or if you are going to any sector, like we all need all engineers there. So coming into this automotive sector, we have different domains, divisions, and all. So the mechanical engineering team does the actual design of the hardware and all, and then coming into the electrical and electronics engineers, they work on different domains. We have mechatronics domain here, and then the infotainment part. So coming into there, we have the core development, like the embedded, what we develop, what we learn in our college, like embedded systems and all. So that core development, we will use it for developing the microcontrollers and the ECUs which are there in the car. So I would say, like, it's not the simple car that we were seeing from past 10 years or something like that. Every moment or every year, there is a lot of improvement in the things. Like the previous days, we just used to have some radio and then music that we were listening in the car, but now it is like it's completely connected to a cloud, and we have a pure digital cockpit wherein which we have multi screens for passengers and the rear seat infotainments and all. So we have multiple applications. With a single click on your system, you can change the full dynamics of your car. So that where the role of an electrical engineer, the things which we have learned in electronics, that where it would help. So if you want to just turn on your AC, you will just click a button, or if you want to change something, if you want to change the climate condition inside your car, you just click a button. But the information from that button, it should go into the lower level and it should trigger that hardware, and then it should make up the things. So the moment I would say, if you click on something or you do something, from there it starts. It has multiple layers of communication, and then multiple layers of information being passed, and we are the part of that core development. If you would say the communication that goes into the car and all, that is processed in bits and all, and the data is passed in some bytes and all. So if you could see, we start with learning switching theory and logic design in our electrical engineering when we are in BTech. So that low level basics that we are still applying here in our day-to-day life, in communicating the things and passing the data and all. And then I would also be able to give an example here, like the previous days, where if you want to just turn on a fan, we just need to go and then switch on it with an normal switch that is there in our system that powers on the fan and all. But now the customer needs more and more advancements in the technology. So they want to just turn it on their fan using their mobile app. So if you have a knowledge of this electrical engineering or whatever the things that you have studied, and apart from that, if you have the understanding of the computer science or the software development and all, so you can connect the things. You can connect the things from based on the customer needs. You can, if you don't have an understanding of how the dynamics of the motor or the things work in the other end, you will never meet that customer expectations, or you will never able to meet the requirements of the customer. You will never able to develop the things. So the overall, the all layers of development, or the knowledge that if we could have, then that would be very much helpful in all over the things. So and coming into the security domain that I am working on, we work on the domain protecting our car infotainment system, the digital cockpit, from the attackers. Like we work on secure boot, we work on protecting the data that being hacked from our infotainment. So there are many different things that we keep on working. So on the whole, we should have that knowledge of electrical, and then we should have that knowledge of software systems. From there, we are able to do all these things. And coming up to the second part of question about the uh, things which I like in the college. So I would say, like, I'm very much connected to the college for all those years which I'm there, and then still today, even I'm connected to it. I'm part of the NSS team, the National Service Scheme. We do many activities. We teach the people who are from the government schools. We conduct the blood donation camps and all. So as a part of an electrical engineer, I was also part of this. I was there in association with NSS from past 10 years. When I just started the college, the moment I was a person who was not able to even speak for a moment. I was not able to convey the thing what is there in my mind. So there, the career vision that started in our college, it has few different sectors in it. Like it has entrepreneurship, it has inspirational talks, it has TED speaker talks, and then it has play and learn modules and all, where in which it started in our year, and then that gave me a platform where I can start speaking to the people, where I can convey the things. So from there it started, and then it grown like a big tree. Then I started giving sessions for different domains, different branches in our college, different conferences, and also from there that budding kick has been started, and then it helped me a lot. Even after coming here into the uh, company, so it gives us lot of help. Like you are already spoken to many people in the college, you have already communicated to many persons, you have a lot of networking there, so that helped me here in my office to build few products, become a module owner in a short time, and then getting things done with the people, and then understand things in deeper, talk with the customers, talk with the end OEMs like Audi and also. So that really helped me a lot. And I am really shocked to see about the minor degrees, madam. So that I would say it's a really great platform to a budding engineer from a BTech, having a knowledge of an artificial intelligence or having a knowledge of IoT or cybersecurity, the things which we are working now. So uh, I would say the people who are joining in the recent years of BTech, they're very lucky, I would say, to have such great minor degrees or the additional courses apart from the degrees are the things that we are already learning there in our college. So that is really great. And I would say the overall infrastructure or the platform that college gives is very good. Like uh, when someone has a library, then VNR has a library plus digital library. When someone has a simple classroom, then VNR has a digital classroom wherein which you will have a good projector systems and the audio systems in every single class. You have a career vision room, you have an innovation clubs, you have a student activity center, you have a cultural clubs, you have a very big playground. So it's not just a simple classroom, you just learn something and then give that in an exam, but you have overall development that a VNR gives to a student that really helps us uh, in all these years, I would say. And one small thing I would just add on apart from the question that is asked, I like uh, saying triply being tough. So that is a norm that is coming from many years. So I would say it starts from year one, like where in your first year you will have some networking related subjects, and you will have some circuit theory subjects, and you have the basic fundamentals. So if we are not able to concentrate or get the things in the initial time, then it becomes tough for all the years. So it happens for every stream of engineering. So I would say if you are really strong with the fundamentals, as like Poonam madam said, then you can really enjoy the subject, and then you can play around, and then you can always relate your electrical engineering to a real world, and then trying to understand the examples and all, and it will be very helpful. I would say there is an instance where I wrote an article related to connecting our electrical circuits with a real world, where a small uh, a power electronic device being connected to a tap that we normally, a water tap that is connected in our home. So how we can interlink those things. So when I had written that article, then I got a very good chance to even submit that lecture to the freshers or the new joiners or the next batches that I have got a chance to deliver the things there. So I would say the VNR team or the whole um, system from the, I would say, from the core management to faculty and everyone is so approachable that when you have some idea, they really helps us to grow it and then even spread it among other streams, and also that way I really like VNR much. So if I start speaking, I don't know, I can even speak for hours and hours because I like VNR so much. It was like gave me a lot of scope, and then learning there. I am here because of the college or the faculty that really taught us. So I always bow head to them. We are always students of your madam. Thank you so much for all this.
Thank
I
you.
was
Thank
very
you. Thank you.
surprised to see that even now people are saying triple tough. I mean, even in 2000, people used to scare us calling it tough. I mean, if you don't study, don't understand, everything is tough in life. And if you study and if you understand, nothing is tough. I don't know. I mean, like even in 2022, people are still calling tough or easy.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
In earlier, it, there was nothing like imagination and all, because you have to imagine your parents and other things. So that's why people think that it is tough, but it is not like that.
No,
It is,
even I mean, software is imagination only, ma'am. Until and unless you
yeah,
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you for putting those things across, especially when you talked about how college had been instrumental in nourishing you into an overall development of you also in your life. So, very nice to hear. And I think the faculty of Triple E will be very proud to hear from all of you who have joined this panel discussion today to emphasize on the branch relevance or also the job prospects related to the wide career choices which you have in Triple E. And I think rightly pointed out by all of you who have been part of this panel discussion. I do think that the parents will find it very knowledgeable and also very interesting to note down the points, whatever you have told today as part of this panel discussion. Thank you all for sparing your time for this panel discussion today. I do think that it will be very helpful insight for the parents and aspirants who can view this video later point through our YouTube channel also. So if any parents are there in the part of the panel discussion, or if you want to like to ask anything, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and put forth the questions, or you can even type in the chat box. We'll take up the questions from the chat box also. So if any parents who are join this panel discussion, if they would like to ask something to the experts who are available in the branch of Triple E, I suggest you to please go ahead. So I think most of the queries or most of the doubts what the parents had been very well clarified by the experts in the panel discussion. So I thank Poonam madam who has given at a short notice. She has arranged all the resource persons for the panel discussion and tried to bring a very good team on board for help conducting this panel discussion. I thank Anuradha ma'am, who in spite of her busy schedule has spared her time to be part of this panel discussion. And I thank all the experts or the industry and from abroad who have joined us today for this panel discussion to help us. So thank you so much for being part of this panel discussion. So anything which Poonam madam would like to add up, we'll close the session.
yes. Really, it's we always feel proud, like the way our students are connected with us. And I will say one thing, madam. Triple E, it always makes circuit, right? So as Vinod has told you, we should always believe in networking. So, Triple E branch has very good networking, and the way we teach, the same way we maintain. So we always like there is very good team who always take care for the students, and branch is very like forward looking branch, and there is no substitute, you can say, as the name, people used to say that Triple E is evergreen branch. So Triple E is always evergreen branch. You can see like the kind of alumni today they have joined, like Venkateshwara Rao, he has joined from abroad, and Microsoft. After Triple E in MBA, and Chandrabhanu in working in typical like core area where like transformers. Without that, even like no devices can work if power transformers are not there or distribution transformers are not there, right? And like Abdul Muzib, like as he is sharing his experience, I still remember when he kept the first stall to support somebody, like how to utilize the waste sorry, something which grows in the pond, like some word Abdul only can correct me, and how to make the notebook out of it. Like I still remember, I am still having that notebook with me, and Akhil, the way he has studied here and he is still connected, and how he is excelling in his life. These all, they are the best example from the department. Like you can see, like there are diversified area where people can go after studying the branch triple E, and there are ample opportunities are there in the private sectors as well as government sectors, as in finances and other areas, entrepreneur. Uh, Various examples are there. So these all my team who have come here today, alumni, they are the best example. Like what are the wide spectrum of triple E in career, like what they can select. So I really am thankful to them. They have given time and spoken, taken part in this panel discussion. So that's all, madam, from our side.
Yeah.
So thank
Thank
you
you,
very
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, Shobna ma'am, also, who has been
Yeah.
behind the scene to
Yes,
enable this to be conducted
our
to
executive team,
execution. Yeah.
yeah, under the guidance of Dr. Shobana Madam and Dr. Giriprasad sir, and Dr. G. Radhika, who always makes the connection, like who is like very good in maintaining with alumni. Still, like after so many years, also we feel like they yesterday only they have gone from the institute. That feeling we have. So, like all our team works with very close network. So, thank you all for giving this time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor Madam.
Yeah. Thank you, Shobna ma'am.
Ma'am,
You can stop
sorry to
recording.
interrupt. One suggestion I have, ma'am,
Yes.
regarding it's a really important thing for the students who are looking forward in the course sector actually. Main thing is communication with the industry experts, because what I have because I started in this the same field. The main thing is having contacts with the industry experts. So the main for the students side, it's a new thing. So how I suggest is that it's the best option is through LinkedIn or such portals where they need to approach by themselves the industry experts. They can search the field where they are interested and all, which products they are interested in all, the products which the companies which are manufacturing and all. Those people are very much active on the sites like LinkedIn and all. So I suggest the thing is, main suggestion is maintain contacts with the people in the industry, because after once you get into the field, actually, once you get into the job, some of the difficulties what you'll be facing and all, it might be on your single strength what you can solve it. So it need to be a collective solution and all, collective thing and all. So I suggest students who are right now into this have contacts with industries experts. That would be very helpful right now and in the future also for the group. Yes.
Sure.
Sir, one question I think which they want from the parent, it's in the chat box. Can you brief about difference between ECE and Triple E? So anyone would like to take it from Triple E department?
Yeah, I
Yes.
I can answer them. Actually, triple E means like you work with the high power rating, and ECE means with you work with low power rating. Basically, that majority of courses are common in triple E and ECE. So their communication line, it requires low power. Our transmission line, it requires high power. Conceptual concepts are same. What ECE studies and what triple E studies. both branches are same, and almost like 70% of our courses are common. Only 30% makes the difference, where we study the high power and where they study the low power. Right,
Yeah.
madam?
Yes,
Madam,
yes,
you
you
are
are.
also
Yes.
from EC.
Yeah, I'm from EC. I'm just hearing out to you. Yeah, that
Yes.
answers the question, I guess. Which will be upper hand between these two, sir? Again, you come back to the same question. What is that ma'am has told? So most of the courses are similar, sir, and nothing to fear of. So only thing what ma'am was telling us, suggesting is there are few courses in their third and final years, which EEE or EC they are going to study differently. Other than that, all the remaining courses are open to them, and as you already know, there are a lot of open elective courses also, which both EC and EEE have in common also.
Branches are almost like almost same everywhere. It is same. It depends like how a child can take forward their learning. Opportunities are ample in VNR Vijay. It depends upon the student how it that the student takes it forward. So you can see like Chandrabanu is working in transformer industry, and transformers like low power side also it is used and high power side also it is used, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Chandrabanu, you want to add something here?
Yes, ma'am. Power transformers, what you're suggesting is, yes, on the transmission side and all, very high voltage classes and high power ratings would be there. On the lower side, lower ratings and all, the household equipments and all, such equipments are using the lower ratings and all. And they might be of the higher frequencies also. So such differences would be there. Uh, but the main thing is regarding the infrastructure and all, if we see and all, the high power transformers and all are on the major part networks actually.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So there was one more question like, can we opt A and EEE branch? Definitely,
Madam.
sir. That is what we have discussed. And Anuradha ma'am also has given you about that.
Only one thing you have to make here, these minor degrees are additional credits. So because of that, like to make smooth learning, what we make rules, like you might have seen on the flyer also, there should not be any active backlogs. That's how like from day one onwards, like as the panel is really suggesting, like how first year courses are very important. That way, like student have to go in their way how to make the conceptually strong fundamentals, they should go ahead and then they can build on this kind of additional minor and major kind of learnings and degrees, the additional to the regular degree. Okay, I hope like it's clear. You can take up anything, AI and ML. All these are for especially core branch engineering students, these minor courses. So that's how one has to make up their academic orientation very smooth by way of attaining good CGPA in their early years of their study, like first year and second year also. Okay. So, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
One quick question from me, sir.
Yes.
So, how do you think a student can manage both degree as well as minor degree? Because there will be a lot of additional pressure. Because I see some 18 subjects or something. I think I
No,
didn't
sir.
understand.
Yeah, it's not 18 subjects. It is only 18 credits, and from third year onwards, the student may take like 3 to 5 credits, sir. One theory and one laboratory, like that. To facilitate the theory learning, they will have the advanced labs also. And it is apart from maybe like evening classes, like we will take up weekly thrice or twice. That's all, not very like burdensome for the student. And those who take up regular courses of like 5 theory and 3 labs in a regular semester, they will have additional 1 theory and 1 lab, or sometimes like 1 theory 2 labs, like that combination it will be having.
Okay. And one more quick question.
Yeah.
See, we have seen any department, whether it is electrical, electronics, or anyone going into the computer background, okay, software engineering background. But now that many colleges are have started the new courses, AI, data science, and everything. And I think from 24, I think first batch will be coming out, right? Approximately 23 or 24, I don't know. And I also heard from many colleges, from paper news, that many colleges have requested converting 50% of their other branch seats into computer science seats. So in this way, when lakhs and lakhs of students are coming out, what will be the impact on other branch students like Triple E? Will they get selected? Or, um, will there be those many opportunities or something?
Ramesh sir,
So
I would like to answer here. It's not about the branch when someone who is recruiting, right? It's about your personality, how you think, how you approach the problem, how you solve the problem. Branch is only for your degree, which will anyway help us. But in the real industry, what I mean, even without a degree, if I'm a person who is capable of doing a thing, they will happily accept me. So at the end of the day, it's individual who matters more, and how he presents himself in front of, let's say, the interviewers or panel. And degrees only for us to get a gateway to interview, but at the interview it's an individual who has to perform. So, I mean, one should not have doubts about whether there will be opportunities or market, whether I will get a job, whether there's opportunities. There are always opportunity for people who are good. So we should focus on ourselves to be good, so that opportunity will come to us. We need not go to them also. I mean, that's how I see it. Yeah.
Ramesh sir, hope this answers you.
Yeah, I completely agree with his answer. But take way to the interview, if I catch that word
In my
correctly.
okay,
Say
I will.
in the advertisement, for example, if there is an open position and all VTechs computers can apply or something like that. So in that situation, electrical students may not be able to apply. Right? Once they have appeared, they can show their talent, okay, but they were not called for the interview. What will be the case?
I'll tell you, in my experience, it was only one company where this kind of situation has occurred to me. Like, it was in MBA. I mean, after MBA, it was Microsoft who recruits even management graduates, but they were expecting management graduates who have done the BTech in computer science engineering. Because Microsoft is a product company who design the software. Maybe they have such requirement, and we didn't get an opportunity to even sit with them. I mean, that was the only Microsoft. But if you look at other companies like Google, Amazon, everywhere, they don't differentiate. So I mean, I feel even in the industry, there are not many companies who think that way.
yeah, I would like to add one point here. Like in our recent observations, like our EEE faculty as well as the students also are getting opportunities in the industries. Like industries are get taking our MTech students, our PhD students, and in recent age we are getting that opportunities. Like we are hearing like many are getting that opportunity. Wipro like companies taking our EEE students. Hitachi is taking our EEE student. Robert Bosch is taking our EEE student, because they have lot of project where electrical engineers are required, who should have the little computer knowledge and some programming knowledge like Python. So it's not like that. Many branches have been created by our country just to see that we can meet the requirement of automation, and we can fulfill the needs of the industry. They may be finding that there are lot many engineers are required in the artificial intelligence or data science. But why minor degree university has given approval? Because a candidate with the data science minor degree or with the minor degree of artificial intelligence in the core engineering can fulfill the more requirement compared to the plain core computer science or plain core other computer branches. So that's why they have interface, not for any other purpose. Because the way we are going for automation, the smart grids and micro grids and our renewable systems, integrations, the way we are moving ahead, their more core knowledge is first required along with the computer domain. So that is the main thing. Like policymakers have thought of and this domain. Even there are interdisciplinary projects between the two departments. A Smart India Hackathon hardware edition
our 5 student and 1 computer science student has gone to the final round. So there are like interdisciplinary approach is required. So with this, like the minor degree, whatever is opportunity has come through the university, that will give them better future prospects compared to the pure core engineering. That also one of the decision in the recent years. So that way, like branches are there. No addition of the new branches will dominate any other core branches. Core branches will survive, will always exist, because without power nobody can do anything. So all branches will survive. Without roads you cannot travel anywhere. Without communication you cannot do anything. So core branches will be there always. It is just to meet the requirements of industries and to support the Make in India. All these things have come in the recent years. So branches will be existing every year. I think I answered the question. What was the last?
Yes.
Ramesh, somebody has asked.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I think you have answered the question very appropriately. Power to Triple E.
Yes.
So any other questions which the parents want to ask, just put it across. Otherwise, probably we are going ahead of time.
Madam, one more quick question. What are all the triple E opportunities available? I mean, it's like electricity board, railways, from government sector, and in private sector, what kinds of electrical vehicles, cars, automobile industries are working?
Yes, sir. It is always there, sir. Electric vehicle, it is there. Renewable energy, it is there. And a lot of core opportunities are also there in the department. Hitachi is the recent recruiter in our department. Right? So along with Hitachi, even our Triple E student this time has got in bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, please go
So
ahead.
because of their branch, they learn problem solving skill right from first year, analytical, logical skills, everything they learn with their branches, right? So
Yeah, Venkat sir, you can go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Actually, I don't know whether to ask this question in this forum or I don't know. But current situation, as per the industry, there are like something like, recession is coming and jobs are moving and jobs are going, jobs are not. Okay, so we are in a dilemma. Like, I have seen in the industry, IT industry, almost 2 to 3 recessions. Okay, sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. And as per the current trend, okay, software industry is moving and there are more opportunities compared to other core branches. So please suggest me in a brief, okay, in which way, in which branch, like, my son actually interested for ECE, and he triply doesn't have knowledge. I just educating him triply about also. And could you please suggest me so that, whether the industry recession happens or not happens, he has to survive individually in the market without any losing job. On his own, he has to survive. So could you please give me some suggestions? He doesn't have any he doesn't have any idea to do ECR, CSC. He's just like moving. Okay, CSC we are demanding and having. So in that way, can you just brief me about as per the current trend, current situation? You understand the point?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Venkat sir, I just want to, tell from my side. Okay, if you have a preferences of EC, triple, that can be one factor to decide. But other factor, the most important factor I would say is the college. The college is very, very, very important. I would emphasize this because that has helped me. Uh, in a way, I would say it's a brand. If VNR is today a brand, no doubt about it. 22 years back, it was one of the college in JNTU. Even then, it was like top 5, or let's say top 10 college within JNTU or within Hyderabad. but today it has gone much higher than that. So when company is trying to recruit, they also look at where you're coming from. Is it VNR, is it JNTU, or is it like CBIT, etc., etc.? That also matters a lot in our, let's say, career, or in our profile. So even if it is recession, maybe 100 jobs may go down to 50 jobs, but we still need those 50 people. So how do I choose those 50 people? I want best of those 50 people. So where do I get the best? I get the best from the best colleges. So I would also say that focus on colleges where you're going to join. I mean, in my personal experience in 2000, even I had a CSC in some college, but I didn't want. I had only 5 colleges in my list where I will do my engineering irrespective of branch. Today, I don't regret at all because that has helped and that will really help. So it was like VNR, Srinidhi, CBIT, or Mufukam. These are like 4 or 5 colleges I have jotted down. And I took mechanical engineering in my first counseling. But after second or third counseling, I got an opportunity to move to Tripoli. I did that. So also focus on college, not just branch. And wherever you do, you try to excel in that. I mean, that's my simple suggestion.
Okay.
Yes, rightly said.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, sir.
And in addition to what our just now, like very aptly answered, this question is answered by Vinod. And in addition to that, sir, basically when we look into the kind of courses, computer science related, circuit related, like that. So when you are interested in whether ECE, EEE, that's a matter of like your priority. But the kind of the industry orientation and the higher studies point of view, whatever it is, the next career choices, for electrical and electronics and communication, not very much difference. From the beginning, like that question, it was there in your mind. Like you can come down to college and look at the way like facilities and the connect with the electrical and electric triple E as well as ECE. So almost like the kind of jobs recruiters also.
Yeah.
The way like ECE, what recruiters are coming, and triple E also same way. That's how like you can always look at some more detailed discussion if it is needed. You can always visit us, sir. Okay.
Even I will say in MBA experience when I was in Calcutta. So I mean, not many from, let's say, one college go to IIMs. Like if you look at like from Delhi, like Delhi University, Delhi College, they are like big batch or big bunch, like 30-40 students. So their alumni has gone so strong. Like when they come for recruitment, they would obviously prefer their college people. I mean, which is like hidden fact, but that's a fact. So no one knows that. So that did not work in my favor, but still, I mean, that is what happening there without no one knowing it. So same way, even in like, if you have a strong alumni, like we are like 30 years old institution now, VNR. So this means like a lot of people who have passed out of VNR across industries, across companies, it has become a tree now. It was a plant then, now it is a tree. So when they come for, let's say, they want to recruit people, so I would certainly prefer someone from my college if given a chance. Or let's say if I have to choose only 2 or 3 colleges where I have to go and pick some people, so maybe based on my experience and my choice, I will choose my college. So you should also consider the factors like how old is the college, how good is the alumni network, how the kind of people who are passed out from those colleges. Those are the things should be considered. I mean, this is nothing but which I was saying, like focus on college also. This is what we should consider.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Vinod sir, for adding that particular thing. So as you were talking about college, so we keep telling the parents also at admission section, please look at the college. Now branch has nothing to
Second.
do. Yeah, everything is almost on the common platform now. So I think, yeah, of course, it's difficult to break the perception that parents have. So we are trying our level best through these panel discussions, at least to bring something out of it. So thanks for all the panel members who have spared their valuable time. Yes, sir, Venkat, sir, one more.
Yes, I actually I got the news from my friend Ramana sir gave me. So it's a very good initiative. You are offering apart from other core branches, you are offering the latest trend, whichever like AML or maybe some other data science. So which will help in the college itself for the students to cope up and to improve and not to waste the time going for learning others outside. So it will be best for the students' part. I appreciate your initiations and the way you have explained the details about all the branches. It is very much understanding for me. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. So we are basically trying to bring some awareness into the parents also, so that because we do know that a 12th graduate may not be in a position to choose what he wants. So I think if you can really, the parents are keen to know about the branch and the branch prospects. I think that definitely helps them and also the students or their wards who are interested in joining into our college. Thanks for all the panel members. Thank you so much. So you have spared your valuable time. So in spite of we thinking of a schedule of probably half an hour to 40 minutes, I think we have extended quite a long time. And I really thank the experts who have been part of this panel discussion and also the parents who have joined in. It was really interesting to hear out from you and your doubts, whatever you had, you have put forth. So thanks for that. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Shobna ma'am, you can stop recording, I guess.
Yes, madam.